Hi guys, this video I'm going to show you a good line against the Grunfeld as white. I had a request from a friend telling me that he hates playing against the Grunfeld, and so I said I had a pretty good line which seems to work really well for me whenever I play d4. It's really simple to learn and pretty effective. Grunfeld players hate it. I play the Grunfeld every now and then as black, and I don't particularly like playing against this sort of line. So anyway, it starts off d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, and now d5 is the Grunfeld, so challenging immediately in the centre. And the reason black waits till white plays knight c3 is because normally this is the main move. C takes d5, now the knight takes d5, e4 is going to be played, and now black can take on c3, and this is the Grunfeld position, and this basically happens in c5, and black aims to target these weak pawns in the centre. So this is why they wait till white plays knight c3. Say if white had gone knight f3 here first, then Grunfeld players would keep delaying with bishop g7, and as soon as they go knight c3, d5 would be played. So, okay, so after knight c3, d5, we actually do arrive at the same position I just had. Knight f3. This is the line I recommend against it. Knight f3, and Grunfeld players will always delay. They'll play bishop d7. They'll castle if you don't take on d5. So now we play bishop g5. Oh, except in a circumstance, because they were threatening to take on f6 and win the pawn on d5. So here they play knight e4, and we take on d5 our pawn, and they can take on g5. So we won't actually win a pawn, because after they take e6, they're threatening to recapture on d5, but also they're threatening to win our knight on g5. The move I recommend is just going back with knight f3. I think I saw a game recently where you could play h4. Some guy played h4, some grandmaster. I think it's probably Nakamura. He does all this crazy stuff where he tries to hack them up on the king's side. But it looked like an interesting idea. But yeah, just go knight f3. Now to takes e3. Castles, bishop d3, c6, we go b4, and now the idea is we just castle, and this is really simple to learn. Just castle, and we're going to play a4, rook b1, play for b5, and yeah, black Grunfeld players hate playing against this sort of line because they can hardly get any play. We look at it from the black side. It looks like white's going to do all the attacking down the queen side, and black can't really do anything. They can put bishop on g4, but it's not threatening anything, because of this really good pawn structure that white has. And the only thing black can try to do is launch a counter-attack on the queen side. That's where he's got more pawns, but because of the structure, white's going to be doing that. So this bishop's really misplaced as well. It's just hitting nothing, and there's no c5 break either. So yeah, this is the line I'd recommend against the Grunfeld. So yeah, so this is the yeah, definitely the line I'd recommend for white. It's very easy to learn, very simple. You just go over it again. You just go into normal Grunfeld position here. You develop your knight. They develop bishop g5. Knight e4 is forced. This is always played, and takes. This is always played. Knight f3, they have to take back. e3, castles is a simple, logical move. Bishop d3, and c6 to support the knight. They start messing around with stuff like c5, and they can end up with an isolated pawn on d5. You can probably just capture on c5, and then they end up with like an isolated pawn on d5. So this is not very good for them. So they play c6 and then b4, and yeah, there's our plan basically, and it's really hard to see. It's really hard for black to actually get in the game. Like this knight, it's going to find it's going to have a lot of problems actually getting in the game. I guess he's going to have to go knight d7, knight f6, and maybe aim for e4. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.